Hello everyone, my name is Steve and welcome back to part 3 of a guide to making your own LSPDFR callouts. Today's video we're going to be looking at some simple LSPDFR concepts and making our first callout. To get started, come over to the hierarchy in your project, right click on callouts, go to add, and choose class. Make sure class visual C# items is selected, and down here at the bottom you want to type high speed chase.cs, hit enter or click add, and here we are. So first thing we want to do is our using statements, which is going to be rage, as well as lspdfr.mod.api and mod.callouts and system.drawing as well. Now, in between these, the class and the namespace here, make some room, square brackets, callout info, and this is going to be the name of your callout that is read by things like callout manager. Just type it like that, and then choose your callout probability. I like to normally set it to high, but you can set to whatever you want. And you want to add public in front of this, and colon callout, just like that. Now let's make some functions that LSPDFR requires for the callout, which is public override bool on before callout displayed, hit tab, make some room with this as the last line, public override bool again, this time it's on callout accepted, again this is the last line. Next is public override void process, and we want this to be the first line this time, and then finally public override void end, again with base being the first line. And now we can get started with the callout. So we're going to start by declaring some variables we're going to need, which we're going to do inside the general, or global rather. So private head suspect, we're going to make a new vehicle. Let's call it the suspect vehicle. We want a blip as well, just like that. Then we want the LSPDFR L handle, which we're just going to call pursuit. We are going to need a vector3, which is going to be our spawn point of the callout, and a boolean for has the pursuit been created yet. So now we've got our variables set up. Come into on before callout displayed. This is before the callout is displayed, right? Come in here and we want to assign spawn point, so where the callout is going to happen. And in a later video we'll get more detailed and choose exactly where we want it. For now, just type world.get random position on street. Close that off. Then we want to type show callout area blip before accepting. And we're going to give it the spawn point we just defined, and we'll set the size to 30. This is the blip on the map of the callout area. We want a minimum distance check, which is going to be for 30 around the spawn point. And now the callout message, this is what pops up in the notification. We'll say high speed chase in progress. And then we have to set the position, which is going to be the vector3 position we defined right here. And finally, we're going to play a sound using LSPDFR functions dot play scanner audio using position. And scanner audio is going to be we have space crime resisting arrest 2 space in or on position. spell it right. Position, yes. This has to be spelled exactly as it is. These are all in between the spaces here. These are all audio files of LSPDFR or of the game itself. This is most of the time the one you're going to be wanting to change out if you are going to be changing anything. But resisting rest 02 should work for us, and just give it the position to be using. And there you go. First function is done. Let's come down here to when the user actually says that, like, they hit Y and they say, yes, I want to accept this callout. First thing we want to do is create the actual vehicle. Since we have created a variable for it, we haven't actually created the vehicle. Let's fix that. Suspect vehicle equals new vehicle. We're going to make it a baller. You can leave this blank if you want it to be a random model. And we're going to put it at the spawn point. And right, suspect vehicle dot is persistent. It's going to be set to true. And then a couple lines. So the suspect is a new head. We create the actual suspect himself this time. And we're going to spawn them in at the position of the vehicle dot get offset front. Say 5. This is gonna, since we didn't define a model, it's gonna choose a random head to put near the vehicle. Is persistent, set to true. We also want to say block permanent events equals true. And then we want to make them actually drive the car, so warp into vehicle and choose a vehicle, which is suspect vehicle, and choose a seat index. The seat index is where they're sitting. -1 is the driver's seat. So that's what we want. And finally we're going to do the blip, which is equal to suspect dot attach blip. And yeah, we'll give it color. We did, yeah, we added system.drawing so we can give it a color. So we'll say suspect blip dot color is equal to system.drawing dot color dot yellow, just like that. And finally we want to enable the guidance on the minimap, so we say is route enabled equals true. And finally this boolean we declare up here, we'll say pursuit created equals false, just like that. Now we've got our second one done. Now process is what happens. It's where most of your code for a callout is going to go. We're going to start by detecting when we want it to start running, which is if the pursuit has not been created, so just put an exclamation point in front of that, and 2 and signs, game.localplayer.character.distance to the suspect vehicle is less than or equal to 20. Then we want something to happen. So if the pursuit has not yet started and the player is close to the suspect, then we're going to start the pursuit, which we do with a couple of lines. We say function pursuit equals functions.createPursuit, just like that. Pursuit was the L handle we defined up here. Then we're going to say functions.add head to pursuit, and we're going to add them to the pursuit we just created. And the head we're adding is the suspect, just like that. And then we want to say set pursuit is active for player, just like that. Set the pursuit active for the player with that line. And then update the boolean up here to say pursuit has been created, so that because this is all a loop, so we don't want this to be constantly running over and over and over again, making a bunch of pursuits. We want it to stop. And then we want a way to end the callout, right? So we're going to say if the pursuit was created and functions.isPursuit still running. So if the pursuit has ended, because if the pursuit is not still running, or if the exclamation point is the inverted, then we just want to call end, which is right down here. In end, we're going to have a couple if statements to say if the suspect dot exists, then suspect dot dismiss. And this is just cleaning up the callout to make sure nothing, we're not taking up a bunch of resources. It should hopefully just do most of the stuff automatically, but it's really just in case. We want to say suspect blip dot delete, and we want to do one for the vehicle. So we're suspect vehicle dot exists, suspect vehicle dot dismiss, and finally we will add something to the console and the log, game log trivial. We'll just say amazing callouts, whatever you named yours, high speed chase cleaned up, just like that. And there we go. You've written your very first callout for LSPDFR. One more thing we have to do to make this actually work, and I don't know why it's not docking. There we go. Come back into main.cs. Remember we made register callouts. We have to actually register the callouts now. With functions dot register callout, type of, it should be just callouts dot high speed chase. And that should be everything working. So go ahead and just build your plugin with Control-Shift-B, and you can see down here in the console it's starting the build, and there you go, it's done. You can say the build succeeded, it did not fail, and was not skipped. So we're done with that. Let's now install it. Alright, so open up the folder you made it in, go to amazing callouts, bin, and debug. And this one right here, amazing callouts.dll, that is the actual plugin. Right click, select copy, and then in your GTA5 folder, come into plugins, LSPDFR, right click, and just hit paste. And there you go, it is now installed. And you're gonna need callout manager as well. I'll have a link to install that in the description below. And then open up the game. Alright, so here we are in game and on duty, as you can see. So go ahead and open up your callout manager, head into amazing callouts or whatever you called it, and just hit enter on high speed chase here. And you'll see it pops up, it does dispatch us to it, and you can accept that callout just by pressing the Y key on your keyboard. And you can see it does set up a route and it colors it yellow. So let's head over there. And as you can see, here we are at the callout point. It did spawn in a baller, and you can see it shows a random pedestrian to go inside. We have started up a pursuit, as you can see by the flashing in the minimap, and we are now engaged in the pursuit. So I hope this helped you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you, and have a great day, everyone.